Welcome everyone for the user packet game with one of the Warsaken generals, Matt, and one of the owners as well, playing Cubos. And the Lockwood challenge ended, so we are now returning to the normal games. So let's see what we get on the lucky spin today. Alright, we got the Roman Walker versus St. John. You both do have your veto option, so if you don't like this pairing, you can say that now, and we can remove it from the selection and pick again. Are you both fine with this leader pair?
I'm okay with it for the moment.
Alright then.
For them. How do we decide who picks which leader?
We roll on the game, and the highest roll gets to choose if they want to pick a leader advantage or turn advantage. If they pick a leader advantage, they get to select the leader, but the opponent picks who goes first, and vice versa. Okay. And by the way, at that moment when it's decided who gets what leader, you can still use your veto, so you don't have to use it now if you don't want to.
Oh, that's why he's saying he's waiting.
Mhm.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's completely determined by leader for me on this one.
Alright, so Matt, will we go into the room and decide after that, or do you want to veto this match?
Yeah, no, let's go into the room and decide.
Alright, just gonna lay this one up and close my Discord stream and swap it to the Tabletopia one. And a moment. There we go. Alright. And I should probably take my matchup list up and write up some things here. Just a reminder here, the veto option is only once during the entire tournament, so once it's used, it's gone. Alright, once I can see both of your cursors moving, let's roll. Okay, build on here, so let's roll who gets the leader advantage or turn advantage.
Did you roll yet, Cubos?
No, he just...
No, I just placed the dice down.
Okay.
Okay, just moved the dice. Okay, that's 5 for Matt, that's a good one. And 2 for Cubos, alright. Matt, you get to pick if you want to select a leader or if you want to select who goes first or second. You get to pick either of those options, which one you want.
I guess I will pick leader.
Alright.
Guess I'll go with Volkov.
Alright, so Matt will go with Volkov. This is the moment where you can decide if you want to veto the matchup or not. Are you both fine with this one?
Mama didn't raise no quitter. I'll take this one.
Alright. Okay, Cubos, you get to pick who goes first or second.
I'd like to go first.
Alright, so...
This is interesting. On my screen, I have Leon in front of me.
you can swap it by just using the right mouse cursor. Just rotate it to the other side of the table.
Okay. Yeah, again, I don't play in Tabletopia much.
Yeah. And you played the Lockwood challenge mostly, which start with the Lockwood side.
Yeah,
But you
So
never...
much funner playing the physical game on a table.
Yeah, and you and I know you also designed some cards and mechanics, so you...
I actually I meant to ask, and this is completely aside from the game, but like, do you guys actually have physical copies of all the cards to do the playtesting and play with?
Yeah. So the first set, yes, not the second set yet, but yeah, I have all the cards of the first set.
That's so dope.
They're all in foil.
Oh, of course.
But can I ask a question as well? Do you have like 8 copies of each card so everyone can play a full option of whatever they want?
We have enough to do that. But you know, most of the playtesting we did were a lot of it was started off with printing the cards off on a color printer, you know, and with cardstock, and then Brandon ordered some sets, even though we didn't have all the artwork done, but we had all the mechanics. So we were playing that way to make sure the mechanics work, because the artwork doesn't change the card as far as how it plays. And then we would make changes and order new artwork, and you know, and so the cards we have currently are mostly coming from those box sets, which is just one of every card. And you know, we've just opened up, you know, 7 or 8 of those to give us tons of cards. So we've done, you know, obviously we've taken cards and play tested everything, but we spent a lot of time playing the pre-made decks. I played all the decks a little. I'm pretty upfront. Like we had certain decks that we considered really good. Litmus test, if you will, for a deck. It was a deck that seemed to hunt out problems in other decks, and Lockwood was one of those, as well as the Emperor pre-made deck and the Volkov pre-made deck. Those seemed to really hunt out problems with other cards. So all the decks are really good. It's just certain decks seem to find problems faster than other decks because of how they played.
And they seem to be, yeah, and they have this perceived strength in them until you actually learn what they do.
And as an example, the first time Brandon played, the first time Brandon played the Ninja deck against me, he won in two. I think it was 3 turns. 2 or 3 turns. I was like, we got a problem here. And he's like, yeah, this is way too OP. We need to fix it. And so, like, there was a lot of that goes on to try to make sure we're providing the best game to people. One of our goals, if you play other card games, there's cards that have been banned and cards that you can't play in certain tournaments. We didn't want that to ever happen. Now, does that mean it won't happen someday by accident? It could possibly, but our goal is to never have a card that's banned from tournament play, because we were careful enough to make sure they all worked well together.
Speaking of tournament play, sorry Matt, I'm actually in any other situation I'd probably love to listen to this, and it's pretty interesting that we got a game to play, and it's
probably 4 a.m. for you, Murday.
It's actually 6 a.m. I got to go do something from 8, so anyways, please shuffle the decks and draw 8 cards. But I actually love the story. It's pretty interesting to see how your kind of like the testing process developed from just printing the cards to the actual, the collection edition boxes and stuff. That's interesting. All right, so you both get 8 cards, and then you get to choose if you want to redraw your hand. You can do it 3 once. And if you want to do it again after that, your opponent gets 1 extra card.
Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Damn.
Oh, you did 1 instead, 8. Okay. It's alright. 1 by 1 or 8 by 1, it's essentially matter.
Yeah, it's every time I try to shuffle it out, I hit that other one sometimes that wants to give it to other people.
Oh, you deal. So. Yeah. I do that mistake a lot. Okay, are you fine with your first hands, people?
Let's see.
Cubos, do you like your hand?
Yeah, just deciding. I'm trying to do the math really quick here.
I guess I'll keep what I have.
Alright, so Matt keeps his hand, so it's up to you.
I'm going to
Cubos.
keep what I have. Yeah.
I haven't played Volkov in a while, so I'm kind of like, I think this is okay. I guess we'll find out
Yeah.
when I
I've
win or
played
lose.
this matchup one time, and I played it on your side, so I've never played Leon.
Oh, this is gonna be more even than I thought. That's interesting.
It's fun.
You're
It's fun.
both going in blind, basically.
Yeah.
Well, not Matt exactly, but details. All right, yeah, Cubus, let's get started.
Okay, so I got no timers, no
Mhm.
draw, just go to generate.
Actually, yeah, go to generate, but the Seize depots doesn't use its
Yeah.
ability.
Does not go.
Oh man, I'm actually so tempted to just ask you continue story, Matt, but for this reason I even added the try not to interview the developers clause to tell them, because we would totally talk with you like hours if we could. Okay. I'm sorry, I will shut up now.
The knowledge I know.
Yeah, the power of knowledge you have.
Yeah.
Still, I truly
Nice.
appreciate you taking time to play on this tournament. Okay.
Swap this for a generic,
Mm-hmm.
and those two for power. Play an Abdul.
All right.
Now, just to be sure, that draw happens on the drop proc, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All the abilities actually technically activate on the reduction phase, but the first one activates immediately. Well, and I forgot to mention that I will generally give you both only advice and corrections on mistake for the first 2 turns for each of you. After that, I'm gonna miss, but I think probably for this match I'm gonna be a bit more lenient. We'll see.
That is all I can do, so I pass turn.
All right. Okay, so Matt, it's your turn.
Okay. Okay. And even though it was my first turn, I dropped the timer down on this one as well, correct?
Yep, you do since you started second.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's see. Whoops.
This is really easy to do. Bit too many resources though.
Yeah.
And it's your first turn, so your classical nuclear facilities actually gives you 2 extra resources. The supply effect, so you get 2 extra power. Supply produce 2 extra resources on your first turn.
Okay, it's so small I couldn't see that.
And
Thank
this
you,
is
sir.
one of the matchup that doesn't actually out of place those resources, the other ones do.
Alright, we good? Did I miss anything else?
Yep, you got it right.
Okay, good. Let's see here.
Gonna have a look around with or without your permission.
Let's see here.
With or without your permission.
So I'm playing a Stolen Blueprints, so I get to discard 2 buildings, Army, Navy, or Air Forces in a specific enemy arsenal.
Have your pick.
Alright, so Cubos, if you could put your hand on the field behind your territories, then take the deck on your hand and put it on the field next to the resource bank. So it's easier
why
for
he's-
not to pick a card. It's,
While he's doing that, I'm gonna discard this and put away the stuff, so that way I speed it up a little bit.
Yep, that's a good idea.
'Cause I'm already super slow.
Yeah,
And
it's
as you
fine.
see, I did pay the 3 cost for it, so we could double check that.
Yep.
Okay, so da-da-da. Okay, so we're gonna take out these 2 Ravagers.
All right.
I'm not gonna stack my discard because I think you go through it quite often. So
I don't know. But that's fine.
All right.
And then I am gonna do 1 of each of these, and I'm gonna exchange that for an apple.
All right. So 1 food.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to play a Violent Tornado, so please discard the top 3 cards of your arsenal.
It affects both players, so you also have to discard 3 cards.
Yep. Whoa. I just spun the whole thing around by accident.
I was like, whoa.
I don't even know what I did or how I did it. So I'm just gonna spin it back around because I have no clue what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, I was like, whoa, that was weird. Look, I can do some super cool tricks in Tabletopia. I just can't tell you how I did them. See, it was spinning so well, and now it doesn't want to spin. Whoa, there we go. See, it's like watching a child do it. Okay, let me push this. There we go. Sorry about that. I just wanted to see, flip over my 3 cards. Bella, so sad. I'll miss you, Bella.
Ooh,
2 Bellas.
double Bellas.
And it is your turn.
Draw 1 for the draw and 1 for the Abdul.
Mm-hmm. Might as well do it now. Easier to
And
remember.
then timers. This comes down by 1.
Okay, resource silo, and it will immediately produce 2.
And I'm not going to touch that one, but I'm going to use it to pull that and produce.
You left 1 of the resource cards under the silo, but I presume you're just gonna use it on the production.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And since this is your second turn, I'm gonna remind you that you forgot to produce on the Spoils of War.
On which, sorry?
Spoils of War. You didn't produce resources for that one.
Oh, no, I'm just deciding which one to
Alright.
make still. Yeah, I've got multiples that I'm not sure which one to take for it yet. Okay.
Seems a man of many skills. A rare combination. Will all who wish to die please raise their hands? Impossible.
So I'm just gonna put these over here because they get used right away. There's that big horn here.
Okay, deploy.
And 2 soldier forces.
And this one plays immediately. Okay. I can see your cards on the field. Go ahead.
I have to show these ones. Okay.
Yep, you do. One is a Cyrus Fabricator. Two, alright.
Just gonna clear the field a little bit here. Still here. That will be it. I pass the turn.
Okay. So I'll draw my card.
You remember to remove the weather as well.
What was that?
And the weather card. It's your turn now again, so the weather card.
Yes, sir.
Alright, I assume that means you're using cycle.
Yeah. Okay, so each enemy returns a card from their legion to their hand. They discard a card and then draw a card.
And just to refresh, sorry, I get to pick it as it's not a specific, right?
Yep.
Yep, from your legion back to your hand.
Okay, so big horn to
Look.
hand.
Bighorn back then.
I need to discard
And-
something.
I gotta discard something here. Discard a nameless soldier.
Alright. And you get to draw
And
one
then
card.
draw a card.
Mhm. Alright. With the Nika Devin, Volkov loses 1 intel and then gains 1 intel, so you get 1 intel, and the card swaps sides and goes to the Leon's side. And then Leon would lose 1 intel and Volkov would gain 1 intel, so you get 2 intel total.
I get 2 intel?
Yep. He plays
Okay.
twice. At least Brandon
Yep.
claims, so...
Yep. Yeah, I haven't used the mole much. He's used it on me before. But yeah, it attacks every turn because it's a 0 attack, and that way it can't defend. So I'll go grab my resources now because I think I've done everything else.
Okay, I just want to clarify a ruling really quickly. So Agent Nika Devon triggers as soon as she's played for the owner, which also loses an intel, so it nets 0, and then it moves to the other side.
So in this case, Brandon, he didn't have any intel, so he would be at 0, but he only gains 1 intel? Or 2?
So you lose 1 intel when it comes... So think about it this way. She plays and she becomes ready on your side of the board.
Yep.
She makes you lose 1 intel because you control her. Then you gain an intel because you own her. And that nets 0. And then you trade her with Mole to the other side, at which point the person on the other side loses and then the owner gains 1. So there should only be 1 gain if Matt had only 1 before.
I had 0 intel and I played her.
Right, that's what I meant. Yeah, if you had 0, you should have 1.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take 1 away.
Does that
And
make
I didn't have
sense?
any to start with, so...
But doesn't it... just clarification, you can't lose from 0, so you get the 1, and then it swaps sides, and it gives 1 intel again, because the person holding it now loses the intel, and the owner gets 1, so it should be 2 intel on the first turn. For the person who played the card.
Actually, he's right.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so that's a really good point.
It depends which one fires first. If the -1 fires first, then it's only 1. Then it goes up after
That's
it
true.
goes down. So it depends which one goes first.
And for people watching this video later in the future, that would be the main developer speaking on the Discord channel.
I heard the Discord leaving notification and I thought Brandon just left.
So, do I have 2 or 1 intel?
You do have 2.
You have 2.
2.
You
Okay.
have 2.
Okay. There you go.
That's a interesting. Most of the time, if you had intel, this would result in a net out 0, like you would have lost. So you're right. It's because you started at 0. You cannot fall below.
This is the only situation
Good
where it
catch.
comes to.
My bad. Sorry for piping up.
So I am exchanging 2 of these for a resource. And I'm going to play an Abandoned Forces, so discard the top 7 cards of your arsenal.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. Looks correct.
Then I'm going to exchange 2 of these for a resource card. And I'm going to do 2 more.
What have we done? We cannot run, people going berserk. Yeah, I have become
For an
the
energy.
destroyer of worlds. Yeah, it has begun. Killing each other, guess we'll never learn. Yeah, I have become.
And then I am going to play another Abandoned Forces for another 7 cards off the top.
Ooh.
We are the problem. It's tragic. We always at war and we bringing the damage. It's really time to acknowledge that we got a problem. Let's do something about it. Hey, before we all get too violent and dropping the bomb in the bomb.
Yep, that's 7.
Destruction, what we created, need to find a solution. Ain't no debating. We adapt in the flesh and we causing a mess like our mind is gone and it's inebriated. There's a monster that I see in the mirror. We got to stop and just reconsider our actions. I sit back and observe and see that we become destroyer of worlds. What have we done? We cannot run, people going berserk. Yeah, I have become death and the destroyer of worlds. Yeah, it has begun. Killing each other, guess we'll never learn. Yeah, I have become death and the destroyer.
Watch 'em burn, everything around the world. Catch blood and dust everywhere, man, creating the gas chambers. C'est vrai que ça fait peur, quand on voit l'état des cœurs. Partout c'est la guerre, dans tous les cas c'est le même, ça le résultat sur le terrain des temps.
And
Mais ceux qui décident sont tabacs, ils sortiront le champ.
it is your turn.
Double draw here. Let's go timers.
What have we done? We cannot run, people going berserk. Yeah, I have
Oops.
become death and the destroyer of worlds. Yeah, it has
Right,
begun.
put one extra health back on there.
Yeah, I have become death and the
I'm gonna set this back to 2 because I will use it in just a moment.
Alright, you can do that.
We all become death, Oppenheimer trying features. Detonate till we all become ether. MC, ain't nothing left for your features. Deadly, we just wanna kill it.
Alright, now that 2 turns have passed, I won't be giving any advice if you miss something that's positive to you, but will always be reminding you about negative things, and I will always answer gameplay related questions, of course.
We all stuck in the cage that the monsters reach the feast. Take it so easily. We all scared for our lives, can't hide from the demon's teeth.
What have we done? We cannot run, people going berserk. Yeah, I have become.
There's a bonus I do, since we talk about Nika, I'm gonna mention that now this would also, you know, penalize Intel and give the owner one Intel this turn as well, but that's how it works. So kind of like a follow-up. Just have to remember to take that one.
Okay, so I will ransom the specific TX. Over here.
So, so basically, because he's the owner, he loses one and gets one, but I don't get any more intel from the mole.
Owner is the person who has the cards on their arsenal when the game starts, which means you.
So I get another intel
Yep.
then.
The
Okay.
negative bonus on Nika, which is the first one, applies to the person holding the card. It's
Yeah.
so different.
It's one of those cards I haven't played with much in my deck. So
Yeah, it's a pretty sneaky one, to be honest. Quite fitting for a spy.
Sorry, last timer I'm gonna just steal with the depots.
Mhm.
And then produce. I just gotta decide that one again. I'm gonna designate. I have to do her as well.
Yep. You literally have to.
she's a beast. Okay, what are you
Um,
attacking?
You're just gonna go for the horde of resources for 140 total.
Okay. Okie dokie.
That's it.
And then here's a resource to buy back my TX.
Yep, you can do
Let
that.
me draw. Let me draw real quick,
Mhm.
so there's no confusion.
Technically,
Okay.
you could do it on the return phase as well, because that's part of your turn, so you could have done it before drawing. But yeah.
So then that just comes to my leader, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. Always the card that reduces the resource.
What was that?
I just said that the card that reduces the resource always is the one that gets attached to, since he asked if it goes to the leader.
Oh, okay.
You forgot your auto resource timer, which is -1, so I will remind you about that.
Yeah, I'll get my timers in just a second.
I told you not to call, Dex.
I got it.
Speak.
Echo, Lima, Zulu.
Excellent.
Let's see. Let's see. An exchange. Two of these. For a food.
Democrat.
Two more for a gas.
Gonna have a look around with or without your permission.
Did you gain freeze?
Well, no. I did 3 exchanges, which each cost 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have had 7. I forgot to take one more.
Yeah, you
Is it
did
3,
that.
2, and 2 is 7?
Yeah, but because
So-
you notice it before the battle phase, you can do it, and it goes to your underground base, because that's the card you forgot to produce on.
Okay, that's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, and since territories are always producing, as long as I haven't attacked, I
Ye-
theoretically,
Yeah.
if I've realized, and point out to everybody. So
That's why
That's
that's why I have the, if you remember the reduction and things you forgot before battle phase, you can fix them.
yeah.
It's the lenient version of the official rules.
Well, I have to. Well, yeah. I mean, technically, your territories are always producing. That's why if weather kicks out, they can still produce, even if they've not been allowed to. So, yeah. Good times. Okay, so we'll do this. That. And then grab a dice. And then, just so we don't take forever here, I'm taking 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm exchanging those 4 for 2 electric. And I'm going to play a rummage which lets me
Okay.
go and draw 4 cards.
Yep. You can do that.
Just so I don't waste the time of exchanging on everybody.
Yeah, I think we're advanced enough to just say it out loud. It's fine.
Yeah, if you want to use the official method, which is basically you can just replace any generic for a specific one, you can do that as long as we can see what you did.
Yeah, I get why you guys are doing it. It makes it a little bit easier.
It's entirely for spectators who are gonna watch the videos mostly. But I think if they have been observed the tournaments game so far, they more or less know you can just swap things.
Right.
Just think specific ones as generics and it works.
Okay, and then I'm going to play a weather. Let me get rid of this rummage card.
Alright,
I'll play a
Violent
weather.
Tornado, both players discard 3 cards.
Oops, sorry
I
about
think
that.
you accidentally
Over here.
drawn that one. Those one is easy to see since that's the last one.
Okay. And I will end my turn.
Alright.
Sorry, the weather should also discard 3 off of your deck, Matt.
He did it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
He did it.
Yeah. these
Oh,
top
yeah,
3
sorry. I
cards-
was looking at the weather in the discard, thinking that was the one on the field. That's my bad.
Nope. No, I wasted a weather apparently.
Okay. And sorry, that was turn pass?
Yep.
Yes, I am done now.
Draw 2, 1 for the duel. Go timers. That's it for timers. You don't have any resources, so I get to just grab a generic here.
Do remember to clean up the extra resource you had under the side of.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I guess I could have just grabbed that one. Okay, so that's all done. Okay, so produce.
Also, you'd lose Intel now, but you don't know Intel to lose, so. Just mention it because it's a negative effect.
I just gotta decide again. This is always the kicker.
Open the doors. It's time to go to war.
And I need to switch. Switch these two.
Okay, so you added the one Intel, you can do that.
Yeah, I did.
I'm just gonna recount these really quick.
Just additional reminder, as I said, I won't be reminding about positive things now if you forget. That's good, that goes for both, by the way. I didn't mean to target you specifically. It's a bit harsh, but we have been doing it since the start, so I'm just gonna stick with it. Might have been better to just help players out on the first tournament, but we got a bit of overconfident item. Sorry. For everyone.
And those. and play out Cyrus. And she'll get the gear. I'm just gonna swap this for a generic.
I'm just cleaning up my discard while he does.
Yep, you can check your discard at any time. It's entirely allowed.
Move this around slightly so that I'm not confusing myself.
You are, it seems, a man of many skills. A rare combination.
Okay, same thing as last time. All three designated for 140 onto the Hoard of Resources.
Okay. And done.
And that is it.
Okay. So I will draw my card.
And the weather gets to move. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have any too nasty persisting effects. Alright, Colossal Warehouse. From now on, every production you do technically lands on the field and then goes to your warehouse. So you can just directly add them to there if you want to.
Sounds like a plan.
It's cool that it converts them to any. If you want, you can just for between us, just throw all generic on there if it speeds it up for you.
Or just add a token to represent your entire production. That also works. But before you do that, could you please discard the Violent Tornado? It's no longer on the effect.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And you also need to reduce your Hoard of Resources timer by 1.
Yeah, I was gonna do my timers, but then you were like, "Oh, the tornado's gonna get me." So I had to fix that first. I had to,
Yeah, I mean technically.
Didn't want you to worry.
Yeah.
So
I'm
okay,
trying to remember to turn all of your things.
I appreciate it. Okay, so cycle. Each enemy returns a card from their legion to their hand. They discard a card and then draw a card.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna take up the Nika. And I'm gonna discard the Nika.
Bye, Strine. You wouldn't actually get intel for that, I think.
I got the intel before.
But it only activates on his turns, and you already added it on his turn. You don't get it on this turn.
Then I go down one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You have to be extra careful about that because you could win the intel war with that tech.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do this. So I'll just put them all here. Is that easier for everyone?
I actually have a suggestion about that if you don't mind.
You want me to put them here and then move them?
Since the Colossal Warehouse basically automatically collects all the resources you produce, it might be easier if you just put a 0 token on top of the warehouse and just increase the counter of the token to the total amount of resources you produce that turn. And
Yeah,
then
but if
when
I
you
have to play a card, I gotta stack it.
If you play a card, you can just reduce the timer, and if you play it face down, you can just add a 0 token to of the face down card and indicate how many resources you allocated to that card. So once we flip the card, we just have to count how many resources it took total, since the resources on the warehouse are anytime. But you can do it in the way you want, and that's just one way of doing it. So I try to recommend to people.
Okay. Okay, let's see.
So am I reading this so that you want to keep them on the field, but they are still rated as if they were in the warehouse?
Yeah, and then I'll move them all to the warehouse at the end so they can't be taken.
Technically they go there immediately, but yeah, it's your turn still, so it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, I know what it means. It's actually, it might be easier for the recording too to see all the resources come out. And each one, it doesn't really matter what each one looks like at this point because they produce as, or they switch to
yeah,
any.
they count as anything. So can be used to count. Basically, there's anything with anything. You didn't play a resource under that one. Did my Discord screen share just end? It did. I'm gonna start it again. My Discord refreshed.
Okay, I'm gonna play a Stolen Blueprints.
Throw my hand down. That one that you threw on the table there, Matt, it says one turn zero timer?
Yep, I know exactly. Yep.
I'm just unfamiliar with the deck, so.
No, that's fine.
Just a clarification. I did not see you to putting any resources under that card.
Nope, I did not. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay, so I can get rid of Army, Navy, Air Force. It just doesn't need it, that card. So Navy, Air Force, or Army. What do I got here?
Okay. I'm really interested in what you are doing here.
Is it the prototype toss?
Yeah.
Technically, we actually disallowed that for the tournaments. Intentionally. We are under the rule on the tournament, which is on the articles, that says if you intentionally play a card with less resources than it takes and get it eliminated, you are unable to target it for effects that return it to Legion if it's on your discard pile. So
I haven't heard of that. I have not heard of that change.
It was added after the Backers vs Brandon game here, where he basically mentioned that, which is it's like 3 weeks ago, I think.
Right, I didn't see where anything was put out on that change.
Yeah, it's on the Eclectic articles about the tournament rulings. And I did recall mentioning that. But since you don't know about that, I allow you to take it back. But it would be a really smart move to do that. But I'd also like to remind that you don't have to worry about the resources because you got the silo on the field, so you can just basically use anything to cover the costs of that, so it's not that bad. And you get it on the field faster as well. Anyways, what was the discards on the deck from the solo?
I would like to coin this for future as the prototype toss.
Yeah, I hadn't heard anything that said I couldn't do it.
That's a pretty big brain move. I like it.
It's the Backers maneuver.
The Backers.
Okay,
yeah, I think
let's go with that.
gets to name it. Backers gets to name it.
That's fair.
Yeah, Matt, I'm just going to be upfront here. If you had been the first player to do that, you would have been able to do it once. But since it's already been played on the tournament and we wrote the rules to shut it off, you can. Sorry about that.
Okay, so we'll get rid of the Dreadnought. And get rid of the tank.
Okay.
Gonzo. Pretty sad state this deck is in.
Okay. Seriously, this warehouse is powerful card. Really powerful card.
And
What have we done? We cannot run, people going berserk. Yeah, I have become death and the destroyer of worlds. Yeah, it has begun. Killing each other, guess we'll never learn.
and it's your turn.
Look how we hurting the planet. I don't understand it. It's getting so frantic.
2-1 for the
We are
duel.
the problem. It's tragic. We always at war and we bringing the damage. It's really time to acknowledge that we got a problem. Let's do something about it. Hey, before we all get too violent and dropping the bomb.
I can't steal anything now, so that timer is just gonna go. I'm gonna remove this. It's at 0.
Alright, so you keep it ready.
Yeah.
I have become death and the destroyer of worlds. It has begun. Killing each other, guess we'll never learn. I have become death and the
Final Devotion's gonna attach to Abdul.
No, not Abdul.
Sorry, Abdul.
Well, I guess it's Abdul's time.
For not getting the packs out earlier today, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's correct.
Okay, that's timers. Abduction.
Where are all of our leaders? Spreading evil, they want to ill-treat us. The bonds will defeat us. Spitting facts from the Bhagavad Gita. We all become death. Oppenheimer trying to teach us. Detonate till we all become ether. Empty, ain't nothing left for your features. Deadly, we just want to kill and release these demons until we all rest in the deep pit. We destroying the world so frequently. Seems that we can't see it so easily. Warfare is the beast that we unleash unreasonably until we deplete the streets of the people you keep beneath. We all stuck in the cage that the monsters reach the feast. Take it so easily. We all scared for our lives. Can't hide from the demon's teeth.
I don't know, I just remembered one thing about the deliberately misplaying a card to get it back on the discard. There actually was a rule revision on the official site, not certain if you mentioned about that or it was the impulsive one. Yeah, the penalties for that are pretty heavy. Fortunately, not on this tournament.
Oh crap, you had a Ravager in your hand? Dang it.
It was I got it in opener. When you pulled the other two, I was like, oh no.
Everyone's going insane. My, how times have changed. The world has come to an end.
Okay.
Sorry, I need to just pull this back and reset the timer. Play another Cyrus. Swap those two for a fuel. Yeah, Riza Navid. Okay, I'm gonna attack. With the Barracudas and Riza onto the Horde. Abdul with Devotion onto the Exile's Trap. That's 191. And then the tanks for 280 onto Glazov.
Alright, so based on the numbers, this means Horde Resources gets eliminated, Exile's Trap gets eliminated, and you lose 4 more. Abdul also gets eliminated due to the effect of Final Devotion.
And
The Exile
this is
Traps
the one
also. Yeah, Exile Traps also. No, not that one, the Exile Trap.
Oh, sorry.
The Underground Bunker is untargetable still.
That's right.
And this is 6 more. It does have a dead man, but the Abdul would die anyways due to the Final Devotion's elimination effect.
And then we had 90 and 190, so 280, is that right?
Yep, 280. 2 Glasgow nuclear facilities.
Okay. My turn?
Oh shoot, I just realized I was muted that whole time. Sorry, one more morale for the Ravager attacking. And then yeah, your turn. I was just talking away for like the last 30 seconds.
We could hear you, we just ignored you. No, I'm just
okay.
It should be Matt's turn.
Yeah.
It is.
Just have to say and check something every time the cursor stops in case something freezes on Tabletopia. Unofficial client, people. Still quite useful though, and versatile. I'd recommend it.
Right.
look around with or without your permission.
Yep. Just saying now for Clyde is sick. Normally Watt wouldn't be able to play Roman Spirit Attack, but because he has the Corso Warehouse, his resources are counted to be any time. And instead of attaching them to this warehouse, he's giving them on the field, so it's easier to see the counts. It's one way to use it. Additionally, it also means those resources can't be stolen.
With or without your permission.
Okay. Gonna inspire the troops.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, discard the top 25 cards. Leave
Buy
as the
deck.
rest of them. Yeah.
I only had 15 in there anyways. I am compromised.
Unfortunately, local can't attack this turn. With the right discard, there comes a right disadvantage.
Yeah, I can't attack this turn. See, what should I do? see here. How much time is left on his 2 resources?
I have 2. It will be on 1 next turn. It's 1 higher than his 5-point ability, so it explodes 1 turn after he uses it. Oh, it's ready.
Right. Okay. Okay, so I will attack your spoils of war for 130.
Unfortunately, you're unable to do that since you used...
Oh, sorry. You're right.
Also,
See, I took too long. I already forgot.
Yeah.
My bad.
Also,
Okay.
Leona would have been compromised, so you could have gone on later as well.
Yeah. I was in my own little world. Sorry, I wasted all that time. Apologies.
It's a tournament.
There's nothing else I could do, so it's your turn.
Yeah. It's a tournament. You can think as much as you like. To a degree, of course.
I don't have anything to draw, so just straight to timers. I'm gonna just remove this for a moment as well.
Use both abilities prime.
Impossible.
I can't steal anything, so...
So, here we go.
Okay. First, I'm gonna use the ransom ability that I still had waiting, and flip the old prototype.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna ravage and fear on your underground base.
Which you can do since it's now targetable, since there's only 2 territories left. So the effect of Ravage and Fear, underground base will be eliminated. And Roman Warfall is compromised.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And then all to Volkov.
Right, Volkov has 200 health and there are no land or navy blockers.
Forces. Yeah, I have nothing that's land I can block with.
The total of 400 damage directly to Roman Volkov. You get eliminated. And that's the game.
A good game, kudos.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, we'll have to play again sometime when I can play Lockwood against you.
I really actually kept talking up that I wanted to take that challenge because I play tested by myself that matchup until my eyes freaking bled.
It depends how I pull on it. The game I lost, I pulled no tanks, no subs, no bombers. I pulled like 2 nukes, but I could only get 1 off. But I had no defense. And here I needed 1 more Roman's prototype, so I could have blocked I don't know if it would have been enough. Probably not. But
at this point, I still had the old relay trick in hand.
I think if you had gotten the warehouse out one turn sooner, might have been different.
Yeah. In fact, one of the weathers I played flipped it over. I was like, oh, I needed that. So.
When you started using the abandoned forces, though, like back to back, I started freaking out because I didn't have any targeted sabotage in my opening hand, and that's like, I need to target sabotage into your abandoned forces, and I didn't get it. It just went straight to discard. So
yeah, it was like, damn, 14 cards in one turn. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, now I can get back to work instead of trying to play matches. That's what me and Brandon were talking about the other day. We're like, oh, we got stuff to do. All right, well, thanks so much for the game, guys.
Yeah,
thank you again, Matt.
Thank you for playing, Matt. We really appreciate it.
It's
nice
fun. I look forward to playing you guys anytime.
I actually also wanted to take your challenge, unfortunately. Didn't get the chance. Anyways, for the records, I will say that in the match with Cubos versus Matt Warsaken, and the Cubos wins. And Mats gets eliminated from the tournament, and Cubos continues the next match, and his next opponent will be Riku Ito the Ace, and date of that match will be determined.